And we welcome you into Columbia, South Carolina for this AAC Women's Basketball Showdown. It's Columbia International playing host to Brenau University. Everyone, Kate Crenshaw with you on the CIU Sports Network. And for Columbia International, well, they're looking to finally come out on top of this rivalry for the first time in 4 years. The last time Columbia International took down Brenau was all the way back in 2018. The Tigers have won the last 4 in this series. An early three-ball shot off the mark from Catherine Fourier. Now the Rams' first look offensively. It's Neat on the drive. She draws contact. First foul of the ball game whistled against Zion Lopez. A tall senior in the center for Brenau. That's her first. The Tigers' first team foul. Neat shooting 61% from the stripe this season for the sophomore out of Cedar Park, Texas. Two for two. She shoots on that trip, and the Rams have our first lead of the ball game 30 seconds in. Brenau with an opportunity to really set their offense for the first time after the early miss from Fourier. Here she is on the drive. Layup rolls off the back iron, but crashing the offensive boards is Kate McCarter. Second chance opportunity will have to wait. Thwarted out of bounds by Madison Hatcher, one of the most talented freshmen that the AAC has this season, both offensively, averaging over 12 points a game, but also defensively. Hatcher adds a presence on the floor for the Rams, especially around the perimeter. Lopez inside to McCarter to tie this one up. Kate McCarter, the sophomore from Blairsville, Georgia, has her first points today. Now the Rams look to retake their lead. Still early on in this first quarter. Brittany Brown getting the start today. Tries finding Trawick inside. Ball will roll out of bounds and be Brenau basketball. Brenau head coach Chris Stewart in his 11th season at the helm for the Tigers. Looking to go inside underneath to Michaela Cope. She steps on the back baseline out of bounds. It'll be Rams basketball. Each of these two squads not having the seasons they would have hoped for. Based on preseason projections, the Rams sitting at 7-10 on the year, 3 games under 500, and 5-7 in the conference. Heston's three-pointer too strong. Meanwhile, for Brenau, 4-9 overall and 3-8 in the AAC. Both teams sitting there in the middle of the pack right now as we come down the home stretch of the regular season in pursuit of the conference tournament. Neat called for it at the straightaway. Too much under it. Brown, though, bringing down the offensive rebound. Our first board of the afternoon. Hatcher shot inside, poked out of bounds by Fourier. It'll stay Rams basketball, 9 to shoot. 7:43 left here in the first quarter. Hatcher wide open, coming off for a Trawick screen. Three-pointer just could not connect. And it's Pittman to clear out the board. Pittman had the rebound. Neat initially stripped it of her. Pittman tried saving it before going out of bounds. These two teams, though, struggling shooting the basketball. Combined, just 1 for 8 from the field together. It was McCarter, a layup underneath. The points on the board right now for Brenau. Meanwhile, for Columbia International, it's 2 made free throws from Zion Neat. But here we see an off-the-ball foul, an illegal screen. Make that on Hannah Trawick. That'll be her first, and the Rams' first team foul. Lopez from the outside, trying to find the glass on the interior, not there. Rams looking to snap a 2.5-minute scoreless streak. Heston's layup doesn't do it. Brenau's back in transition. Pittman spins into a lay-in. Jill Pittman, the true freshman from Crossnore, North Carolina, and Mitchell County High School, getting it done while battling some physicality. And on the other end, it's Pittman. Whistled for the personal, that's her first. Brenau's second team foul. Pair of Rams checking into the ball game. It's Madison Ferrara and Jordan McQueen seeing their first minutes today. Meanwhile, Trawick and Brown head to the sidelines. Up and over the top to Neat. She got the shot off, but whistles will blow prior. On Zion Lopez, that's a quick second personal foul on Lopez. One of the more talented post players that Brenau has. And now she's going to have to head to the sidelines in early foul trouble. McCarter checks out as well, as both Nyla Moore steps onto the floor, accompanied by Taylor Williams. Heston off the screen. 11 to shoot for Columbia International. Hatcher looking to battle through traffic, can't find pay dirt. Cope takes the elbow, kicking out to Pittman. Just a 2-point game here in the Midlands. Blocked and stolen. Neat now in transition. Trying to find Ferrara on the perimeter. Pittman, though, nearly took away that basketball. Neat from the top. Off the right side. Rebound cleared out by Williams. Moore, kick out pass to Cope for three. Too strong, but second chance efforts are on the line now for Brenau as Fourier picks up the rebound. Williams' drive goes high off the glass. Meanwhile, Columbia International starting out this game 0 for 6 from the field. Still looking for their first made shot, and they find it off the hand of Zion Neat. She has all 4 points for Columbia International here today. That layup plus 2 earlier free throws in the first quarter. But Brenau can't get across the timeline. That's 10 seconds, just like that. Turnover for the Tigers in an early tie game. That could cost them some points on the other end if Columbia International can capitalize on back-to-back possessions. Neat defended by Fourier. She leaves the left-handed layup short. Now Brenau looks to avoid their 5th turnover across the last 4 minutes. There it is. Just as we speak it into existence, Hatcher intercepts the pass. And Ferrara steps into a three-pointer. Rebound cleared out by Michaela Cope. All tied up at 4. Here in the Midlands, these two teams struggling offensively. As Fourier drives, she'll get a chance at a three-point play. Catherine Fourier, the junior, gets her first bucket of the afternoon with an opportunity at one more from the stripe. A trio of Rams check into the ball game as Heston, Hatcher, and Neat all step to the sidelines. It's Quanika Howard, Zany Thompson, and Maria Leinbach onto the floor. Meanwhile, Pittman heads to the sidelines for Brenau with McCarter back in action. For a 100% free throw shooter from the stripe this season. And she's 6 of 6, now make it 7 of 7 on the season. She's now replaced on the floor by Shania Gauze. Brenau up by 3. That's their largest lead early on in this contest. Ferrara, Thompson, Howard, McQueen, and Leinbach, the 5 Columbia International Rams on the floor in their home white uniforms with the gold lettering and gold trim. Thompson rejected in the paint by McCarter. Moore looking to spin inside. She kicks over to Gauze, who just leaves a three-pointer short. Thompson deflected once again by McCarter. Thus far, it's the interior defensive play of Kate McCarter that's been the difference maker for the Brenau Tigers. But also on the offensive end, they're struggling with turnovers. Now 6 turnovers still in this first quarter for Brenau. If they can translate that defensive physicality that players like McCarter are bringing into this matchup into the offensive side of just taking care of the basketball, making smart and efficient passes, the Brenau can really build on to this lead. McQueen underneath. Meanwhile, Moore comes away with it. She looks to go coast to coast and is fouled in her pursuit of the basket. Mika Howard, the guilty party. That'll be her first. Team's 3rd foul for the Rams. As Nyla Moore steps to the line, shooting 61% from the free throw line this season through Brenau's 13 games. Moore, sophomore from Tacoma, Georgia. She makes it a 5-point game. 3 minutes left in this first quarter. Meanwhile, Columbia International missing each of their last 4 shots. Thompson lifts a three-pointer up, and it just pinballs out. The shot from Thompson nearly kissed every inch of the rim before rattling out. And now second chance points could be on the line for CIU. McQueen around the Thompson screen. Kicking out to Howard from three-point land. Too much under it. Rebound snagged by Williams. Williams whistled for the travel underneath. And if you were to talk to Rams head coach Danielle Fleming right now, I'm sure the one thing she would tell you about her team is, well, they need to start sinking their shots. The Rams starting this ball game 1 for 13. To do the math for you, they're shooting 8% from the field. So a cold offensive start for Columbia International as Thompson lets the floater fly off the mark. However, if they can continue forcing turnovers and miscues from Brenau, that's what's keeping them in this game. Down by just 5 points, Columbia International has forced the Tigers to commit 10 turnovers in this first quarter alone. Meanwhile, Columbia International has committed just 1 turnover. It's not like the Rams are not taking care of the basketball. They just can't get their shots to fall, rattling out and just falling off the left side of the rim. Here's McQueen on the drive. She'll draw the contact and at least get a trip to the free throw line. Nyla Moore whistled for the personal. That'll be her first and team's 4th foul. McCarter heads to the sidelines with Fourier back in the mix. She had an early 2 points in her previous action. McQueen shooting 74% from the stripe this season. She cannot make the first. The offensive struggles continue here early on for the home squad. 1 for 2 on the trip for McQueen. And the deficit is back down to 4. Full court pressure applied from Danielle Fleming's squad as Neat pokes it away out of bounds. Coach Fleming loves to apply this full court pressure, especially when her team's down, to force the opponent to make mistakes and force bad passes. Underneath to Williams. He put too much air under the layup. Neat there for the rebound. Ferrara had the baseline, kicking under the line block, and just reflected from behind by Michaela Cope out of bounds. It'll stay Rams basketball, but really good help side defense from Michaela Cope to come to the back post, where she noticed Linebach was left open on the shift of the zone to get the rejection. McQueen looking to back down her defender. Rebound poked in the air. And as Moore looked to come away with the basketball, it's McQueen whistled for the foul. On the reach, that's McQueen's first and third team foul for Columbia International. Coming up on the minute mark left. Coming up on 60 seconds left here in this first quarter. Moore looked to spin around Ferrara. Now 55 seconds left. Double team left one player open. They get it back to Moore. She drives baseline, kicks it to the opposite corner. Foyer feeling it from the perimeter. Catherine Foyer, the junior, now with 6 points as she makes this a 12-5 ball game. Jump ball whistled underneath. It'll stay Rams basketball. It's a pair of substitutions. Check onto the floor for CIU with Linebach and McQueen head to the sidelines. It's Hatcher back onto the floor alongside Larissa Lee. "11-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Quick inbounds to Neat. Falls short. Now a 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And now the Rams can hold for the last shot if they would like. Down by 7. We'll see what type of an offensive urgency the Rams play with. And as you see, Howard takes it back to the center court logo. They put it in the hands of their sophomore star, Neat. She drives the right hand. Layup off the mark. Now 5 seconds left. Up the floor to Gauze. She pulls up for a three-pointer. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. At the end of one, Brenau on top, 12-5, led by Catherine Fourier with a game-high 6 points. Can the Rams fix their offensive woes, shooting 1 for 18 in the first quarter? We'll find out when we come back on the CIU Sports Network. Back in Columbia to begin second quarter action on the CIU Sports Network. In women's basketball action, Brenau leading CIU 12-5. You look at that first quarter, and, well, the score is indicative of something much different than what we saw. Brenau, 9 turnovers in that first quarter alone. However, they were able to help offset that with Columbia International shooting a total of 6% from the field. That's 1 for 18, including 0 for 7 from beyond the arc. Can the Rams fix the offensive woes here in the second quarter? Foyer knocking down her second trifecta of the ball game, now with 9 points. Catherine Fourier getting it done for Brenau. Heston's drive poked out of bounds by Williams. Now Ferrara's replaced by Kanile Watkins. Her first game minutes today for Columbia International, averaging 6.2 points a game. Down by double digits. Neat spin move on the low post. Zion Neat still remains the lone Columbia International Ram to score. Step back three-pointer left short. On the other end as Neat corralled the rebound. We see Taylor Green, the sophomore from Buena Vista, Georgia, pick up the personal foul. That'll be her first and the first team foul for Brenau. 15-7 our score here in the second quarter. .12 to shoot for CIU. In the hands of Watkins, driving, runner lifted and put through. Nice floater from Kanaya Watkins to draw the Rams back within 6. Over the top though, Green goes too high off the glass. Fourier is feeling it from downtown. That one though off the mark. Meanwhile, the rebound poked back her way. And now a jump ball situation will ensue and head the Rams' direction. With 2 made baskets, the Rams already have made twice as many shots here in the second quarter as they did in their offensively struggling first. Heston, step back jumper off the front iron. Crashing the rebound was Nyla Moore. Moore, a high floater in the air, takes one bounce on the back of the rim and falls through. 17-9, Brenau on top. Under 8 minutes left here in the first half. Heston grabbing the offensive rebound, kicking out to Watkins for 3. You betcha. Kanaya Watkins with a huge three-pointer. Makes this a 5-point game. Watkins now the steal. Pump fake. Layup too strong off the glass, but Watkins will eventually track down the rebound. Contact heard underneath. Put Heston at the line, with Taylor Williams picking up her first personal foul. And the second team foul for Brenau. Heston, the grad transfer from Oakland. First free throw off the back iron. A 70% shooter from the free throw line this season. She puts too much under each of them, but rebounds poked back to the Rams. And now Hatcher with a chance from three-point land. Jump ball will ensue and head the direction of Brenau. Brenau up by 5. Zion Lopez back into the ball game for the first time since early on in the first quarter. She picked up 2 quick fouls. And just like that, the full court pressure forces yet another 10-second violation on Brenau. Have to get it across midcourt in under 10 seconds to avoid the violation. Now for the second time today, the Tigers can cross the center stripe. Can the Rams erase a 5-point deficit across the final 7 minutes before halftime? Jill Pittman going to pick up the off-the-ball foul for Brenau. That'll be her second and third team foul. Heston off the screen. Nice spin move off the glass. Tania Heston with a beautiful bucket. Draws the Rams within 3, and that'll force a Brenau timeout. 6:42 left here in the second quarter, and the Rams offensively have come to life. Down by 3. We'll be back on the CIU Sports Network. Under 7 minutes to play here in the first half in Columbia. Brenau's lead at one point double digits in this second quarter, now down to just 3 points as the Rams have come alive offensively but continue to be absolute demons on the defensive side of the floor. Lee bounces her own dribble off of her own foot. It'll be poked out, last touch by Brenau. Brenau, 12 turnovers in this first half, has allowed Columbia International to struggle offensively and still stay in this game. The Rams started out 1 for 18 from the field. Now here's Nyla Moore, initially poking it away, but Neat beat her to the hardwood to retrieve it. Heston, layup left short. Lee, though, will grab the offensive rebound. It's Neat from the straightaway. Just rolling out. Jump ball awarded back to the Rams. With 6:05 left in the second quarter. Anna Trawick back onto the hardwood for Zion Neat. Meanwhile, Jordan McQueen checks in as well for Larissa Lee. Some conversations on resetting the shot clock from 20 seconds to 30 seconds. McQueen looking to dump it in, goes up and over the top to Watkins. Poking it away is Gauze. That'll be her first steal of the ball game, and in transition, Jordan McQueen is whistled for the foul. Now some conversations between the official and Brenau's head coach, Chris Stewart, on the dimensions of his coaching box. Tania Heston whistled there for tripping up Cope. The Rams are still within 3 points of the Tigers as Columbia International looks to battle back for their first win over Brenau since 2018. Inside to Moore, going off the window. Heston trying to go coast to coast. Has what I thought to be some contact in traffic. Referee saw jump ball. And it heads back Brenau's way, but that will allow Columbia International to put in their full court pressure. That's forced 2 10-second violations so far on the Tigers. Moore will step out of bounds on the near sideline. And once again, the Rams force yet another turnover. Number 14 on the day. Brenau nearly having as many turnovers as they have points. Hatcher looking to work around a screen. A long two-pointer, too strong. Moore one-on-one with Hatcher, going left side, off the mark. Hatcher from the straightaway, rebound poked back to Cope. Foyer wide open for three. Doesn't connect. Foyer game high 9 points. She had been red hot heading into that last shot, making each of her last 3 before that last miss. Nyla Moore heads to the sidelines with Kate McCarter checking back in for Brenau. Meanwhile, Leinbach and Ferrara return to the lineup for Columbia International alongside Quinnica Howard, with McQueen, Watkins, and Hatcher heading to the bench. Under 5 to play before halftime. Foyer in and around to McCarter, who knocks it through. Kate McCarter Now with 4 points, puts Brenau back up by 7. Heston trying to work around Cope, as Cope will pick up her first personal and the 4th team foul for the Tigers. Green back onto the floor for Fourier. Heston's three-pointer is too strong. And Leinbach going to be whistled for the foul on the other end. Third team foul for Columbia International in this second quarter. Howard trying to force the steal, and that'll be 10 seconds on Brenau once again. 3 times in this first half, the full court pressure has forced Brenau to not cross the timeline in under 10 seconds. Have to cross that mid-court logo before the referee holds up to 10. That'll be a huge point of emphasis at the halftime break. Head coach Chris Stewart to try and figure out for the Tigers. Heston a quick 2 points. The deficit down to 5 once again. Underneath to McCarter. Blocked from behind by Ferrara to force the miss. Ferrara called for it on the right side, as she's fouled in her pursuit of the basket by Shania Goss. Fifth team foul for Brenau, and of course in women's college basketball, that will be the final straw before hitting the bonus. Ferrara at the line with a 1-on-1 opportunity. 40% shooter from the free throw line this season. She'll knock down the first. 3.5 minutes left in this first half. Ferrara an opportunity to cut the deficit down to 3. Indeed, she does just that. Once again, the Rams are back within a bucket. Can their defense force yet another turnover of the Tigers? So far, it's been 15, now number 16 in the first half. Heston, beautiful layup, working through traffic, lifting a prayer up with her right hand. Makes this a 1-point game. Brenau led as much as 10 earlier on in this second quarter, but turnovers and solid shooting from Columbia International have battled them back into this one. Jump ball will go back to Columbia International. Under 3 to go. The Rams looking for their first lead of the ball game since being up 2-0 early on. Trawick from the elbow. Kicking out to Ferrara, 10 to shoot. Trawick, the hook shot off the mark. Off of Brenau, it'll stay Rams basketball with a fresh 20. Fourier back on the floor for Taylor Green. Ferrara to inbounds for Columbia International. Getting it into Heston. Step back jumper for the lead. Tania Heston puts the Rams on top 22-21. Just the latest in an 8-0 run for Columbia International. Pittman, though, from the left side, cannot answer. Heston has the runner just pinball out, trying to save it. Last touched, according to the referee, by Brenau. Neat back onto the floor for Leinbach. Columbia International back up top for the first time since leading 2-0 in the beginning of the ball game. Madison Ferrara whistled for the off-the-ball foul. That's her first and the fourth team foul for Columbia International. One more and they put Brenau at the strike. Meanwhile, speaking of the Tigers, they've got Zion Lopez back onto the floor, who's been held scoreless today after averaging 8 points a game coming into this one. Pittman trying to work across, but ultimately ends another turnover. Here's Howard underneath, high off the glass. The largest lead of the game now on the scoreboard for Columbia International, up by 3, ahead of Brenau, coming up on a minute and a half left. Foyer left open in the left corner, three-pointer off the mark. Howard dribbling through traffic. Nate's going to pull up from the straightaway. Foyer kick out pass to Pittman. Rebound knocked over to Howard. 1 minute left in this first half. Can the Rams take the lead into the halftime break? And Howard runs into a brick wall of defensive physicality from Zion Lopez. That'll be her third personal. Puts Howard at the stripe. Lopez heads to the bench with 3 fouls. For the first time today, we see Kayla Stafford, true freshman from McDonough, Georgia, check into the ball game. Meanwhile, on the other end for the Rams, Trewick heading out with Zonnie Thompson back on the floor. Howard at the line, the senior from Anderson, South Carolina. An 80% shooter from the charity stripe this season. Two for 2 on the trip for Howard, as Columbia International has strung together a 12-0 run the last 3 minutes of game action, forcing Brenau to commit 4 turnovers across the last 4 minutes. Rebound out of bounds, and it'll stay Brenau basketball. .47 seconds left before halftime. Cope fouled underneath by Thompson. That'll be Thompson's first. And puts Cope at the line. A 100% shooter this season is Cope. Wins 6 of 6 from the stripe. Just now joining us, you see, of course, Columbia International on top by 5. Under a minute to go here in the first half. That is not how things started out. CIU starting 1 for 18 from the floor to shoot a team total of 6% in the first quarter alone. Since, they've gone 8 for their next 20 to battle back in this ball game and now hold a lead. 10 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Rebound cleared out by Neat. Turnaround hook shot falls through for Zion. Neat now with 6 points and pushes the Rams lead back to 6. Final 12 seconds of the first half. Foyer looking to go over the top. It's poked out, and that'll be turnover number 17 on the first half for Brenau. Watkins with 4. Kick out to Ferrara with 2. Three-pointer left short, and that'll be the end of the first half. Columbia International battling back to close out the first half on a 14-1 run across the last 4 minutes. They lead by 6 at the break. We'll be back momentarily with Rams head coach Danielle Fleming when we come back on the CIU Sports Network. Here at halftime, now joined by Rams head coach Danielle Fleming. Coach, you're up by 6 at the break, but taking back to the beginning. A first quarter, offensively, I'm sure you like to forget. Starting out 1 for 18 from the field is never something you want to do. But how about your team responding during the second quarter?
Yeah, I like that they respond. We always say scoring is not a problem. I know it looks like it. We scored 5. You never want to do that. But we're going to score. I'm really happy that we held them to 12 and 10. So, I mean, that's really good. My girls are going to shoot the ball. Whether we end the game 1 for whatever, we're going to shoot it. So, it's going to be all right.
Something your team did in that first half to help offset those offensive woes early on was forcing multiple turnovers.
Yeah.
Total of 18 in that first half. Speak to your team's defensive physicality.
Yeah, out the gate, I wanted to see how it goes. Normally we press right out the gate. I didn't want to do that. But as I saw we had trouble scoring, I knew we could make that up by defense. So I really liked that we got in them. Had multiple 10-second calls, which was great. So with this half, coming in, we're going to go talk to them. We got to keep that up. We got to keep being aggressive without the fouls and cover the backside.
You close out the first half on a 14-1 run. How do you hope to parlay that across the final 2 quarters?
Let's keep it up. Offensively, I like that we're getting to the line. I like we're being aggressive. I thought Tania had a great second quarter. I thought we were getting great looks. They just weren't falling. This half, they're going to fall. So let's keep getting those great looks, great passes, make that right pass, or make the right read.
Coach, best of luck.
Thank you.
That takes us to the halftime with Columbia International up 28-22 over Brenau in women's basketball action. We're back for more on the CIU Sports Network. Back here in Columbia for second half action inside the Moore Fitness Center. Kate Crenshaw with you on the CIU Sports Network. Columbia International on top by 6 ahead of Brenau, 22-28. You look at that first half and how things went. Well, it started out a slow offensive start for Columbia International. Danielle Fleming's squad shooting 1 for 18 in the first quarter for a team total of 6% from the field. Now, a big second quarter offset that some on the scoreboard as the Rams outscored the Tigers 23-10 in the second period. You look at the first half totals as Tania Heston and Zion Neat both led the Rams with 8 points apiece. Brown, a big rejection out of bounds. It will stay Brenau basketball with 9 to shoot. One of the biggest factors, though, for Brenau was 18 turnovers in the first half, 3 of those coming on 10-second half-court violations. But it's Fourier getting the Tigers off to a strong start in the third quarter with a big three-pointer. Fourier, a game-high 12 points for the junior out of Lawrenceville, Georgia. Neat trying to drive on Zion Lopez. After the missed shot, she corrals the rebound, and now the Rams have an opportunity at second chance points. Hatcher with 7 to shoot. Just going to draw a traffic foul on Catherine Fourier. That'll be her first. And first team foul for Brenau. Heston. The spin move will draw the contact and give her 2 free throws here momentarily. It's Kate McCarter picking up her first personal and second team foul for the Tigers. Tania Heston, the grad transfer from Oakland University of Hilliard, Ohio. First free throw up and good. Heston missed both of her 3 free throw attempts in the first half. This trip around, though, she corrects. Goes 2 for 2. Already we see the 2-2-1 full court pressure being applied from Columbia International. This time Brenau is able to break it with Fourier. Back outside to Koch. Pittman left alone around the perimeter. Meanwhile, she leaves the long ball short. Neat. The drive. Looked for the contact instead. Whistled for the travel. Luckily enough for Zion Lopez, or else that would have been her 4th personal foul and would have taken away one of Brenau's top post players. Fourier met by Trawick, but that's 10 seconds. Brenau cannot get it across midcourt in under 10 seconds for the 4th time today. The full court pressure that Danielle Fleming's defensive mindset absolutely loves normally works well, but it has never frustrated a team as much as it has Brenau this evening. Hatcher, a strong right-handed drive, too high off the window. Meanwhile, Hatcher, though, with some second chance points, and she takes advantage from downtown. 7:47 left in this third quarter. Lopez will draw the contact from Brittany Brown. That'll be Brown's first personal. And first team foul for Columbia International. This 8-point lead, the strongest and largest of the game for either team. Fourier double teamed by Trawick and Hatcher. They go inside to Lopez. Carter's there for the offensive board. Fourier, the three-pointer, not able to respond, but now Pittman will give Brenau a 3rd crack at this possession, and Fourier on the move sinks the long 2-pointer. Brown trying to respond, gives way to Trawick. From the paint, Hannah Trawick puts the Rams back up by 8. Fourier feeling it from the corner. Catherine Fourier now with 15 points. Puts Brenau back within 5. But Heston, that's just the veteran leadership of Tania Heston paying off on the other end. The grad transfer takes it coast to coast for a strong lay-in. Brenau has to get it across the timeline. Lopez goes over the top to Fourier, too much under it. And you can tell when the clock starts ticking, Brenau starting to get a little panicky in that half-court offense. Timeout taken by head coach Chris Stewart of the Tigers. 6:28 left in this third quarter. We'll take a rhythm. Rams on top by 7. From Columbia on the CIU Sports Network. Back inside the Moore Fitness Center. 6:28 left in this third quarter. Columbia International leading 37-30 over Brenau. It'll be Rams basketball out of the Tigers' timeout. CIU sinking each of their last 3 shots to grow their halftime lead by 1. Went into the break up 28-22. Now leading by 7. Hatcher defended by Fourier. Howard from three-point land. Quenica Howard, a big three-pointer, her first points today. Grows the CIU lead to double digits. Trying to find Lopez over the top. It's stolen away by Hatcher. The true freshman loses her handle out of bounds. Poked away by Brenau. But that last pass resulting in the 22nd turnover of the afternoon for Brenau. Trawick, the long jumper, left short. Rebound cleared out by Pittman. Up the floor, Fourier flashing her speed for the right-handed lay-in. Catherine Fourier has taken this game by storm with 16 points. It'll stay Rams basketball with 22 on the shot clock. Kanile Watkins back onto the floor for Danielle Fleming's squad. And Brittany Brown heading to the sidelines. Five and a half minutes left in this third quarter. Can the Rams hold strong to the lead they've built up now at 8 points? Heston around a Trawick screen. Jump shot from the free throw line. Takes one hop and through. 10 points is the largest the lead has been tonight for Columbia International in multiple instances. Lopez trying to find Fourier from the right corner. Catherine Fourier cannot miss. 19 points on the day for the junior from Loganville, Georgia. Hatcher, though, trying to respond. Too strong. And Heston's second chance efforts are left short. Pittman. Drive from the left side, rolling off. 7-point game in Columbia. Howard looks at the three-pointer. Airballs it into the hands of Nyla Moore. Brenau has kept themselves in this ball game in the third quarter. Moore trying to back down her defender. Referee whistles contact on Quenica Howard. That'll be her second personal. And second team foul for Columbia International. Treywick and Hatcher head to the sidelines with Jordan McQueen and Madison Ferrara back on the floor for the home squad. Lopez trying to drive on Howard. And Howard's going to be whistled. Make that Tania Heston, whistled for the foul. That's Heston's first. Team's third. Zion Lopez at the stripe, the senior from Snellville, Georgia, transferred in 2 years ago from North Carolina Central University. She knocks down her first free throw, just a 41% shooter from the charity stripe this season. Two for two on that trip. And the Rams lead cut down to 5. How do they respond on the offensive end? Heston, spin move up high, and one. Tania Heston's layup almost acted like it wanted to set up a tent and camp on the backside of the rim before finally falling through. Kate McCarter heads to the sidelines, but it was Nyla Moore picking up her second personal foul and the third team foul for Brenau. Meanwhile, Taylor Williams returns to action, and Heston completes the three-point play. Pittman struggling to beat the press once again. Poked away and stolen. Watkins initially had the contact, but Howard comes away with it. Watkins from the straightaway. Banking it in is Kanaya Watkins. Cash out for Kanaya. 48-37 our score. On the ground, diving is Tania Heston. We've got a jump ball that will go the Rams' way. Once again, the full court pressure wreaking havoc on Brenau's offensive attack. Not able to bring it across midcourt without either resulting in a time violation of 10 seconds or resulting in a turnover, of which we've seen 24 here today from the Tigers. Meanwhile, Columbia International, just 5 turnovers the whole game. Tania Heston heads to the sidelines for a quick break. And Larissa Lee back on the floor for Columbia International. An 11-point lead for the Rams, the largest they've had tonight. Off the ball illegal screen on Madison Ferrara. That'll be her second personal and the fourth team foul for the Rams. .3:18 left here in the third. 48-37 our score. Rams on top. Moore looking to drive. Slings it back outside to Williams. She'll take it off the glass herself. As Brenau has sank 5 of their last 6 shots. The offense clicks for Brenau when they can bring it across midcourt. The one thing they have to do, though, is make sure they force Columbia International misses and don't allow the Rams to have enough time to set up that full court defense. Jump ball whistled underneath. It'll go to Brenau. However, just as I said that, this will give the Rams enough time to set up that full court pressure. Into Pittman. Fourier from the left corner this time. 2 hops off the rim before hitting the deck. Lee tried to save the rebound, but went out of the hands of Fourier. Approaching the 2-minute mark. Williams fouled in her pursuit of the basket by Howard. That's going to be Monika Howard's third personal foul and 5th team foul for the Rams. Howard picking up her third, heads to the sidelines. Zion back onto the floor. Taylor Williams at the stripe. True freshman from McDonough, Georgia, just rolling off the front iron out of Woodland High School. Williams here today with 2 points. She goes 1 for 2 on that trip to the free throw line. And the Rams lead by 8. Watkins, a nice pass underneath to Neat before being poked out of bounds. It'll stay Rams basketball underneath their own hoop. Up and over the top to Neat. Back to Ferrara in the corner. Along the baseline and the reversal for Madison Ferrara. My goodness. The lead back to 10. Pittman looks at the three-pointer. McQueen clears out the rebound. Watkins from the left side, you betcha. Kanile Watkins now with 11 points here today. Puts the Rams up by double digits. And just like that, Columbia International defensively forces their 25th turnover of the ball game. The pass sails out of bounds intended for Pittman. Ferrara heading the sidelines along with Larissa Lee, with Madison Hatcher and Zani Thompson back onto the floor. Approaching 1 minute left in this third quarter. Hatcher from three-point land. Off the front rim. Rebound cleared out by Nyla Moore. Trying to drive coast to coast. Left the layup too high off the glass. Hatcher left open. Cannot convert. 10 seconds separate the shot clock from the game clock here in the third quarter. 25 to shoot. Now 30 to play. Moore underneath to Lopez from the left side. Zion Lopez. Scoreless, no more. She gets her first bucket today and takes the deficit back to 11 for Brenau. Shot clock has been turned off. 13 seconds left here in the third quarter, now down to 10. Watkins looking for the ISO. Fouled underneath in traffic with 3.4 seconds left. Taylor Williams picking up her second personal foul. That's the fourth team foul for Brenau. And that'll put Watkins at the stripe. 72% shooter from the stripe this season. She's taking her first trip here today. First one up and good. The Rams, 11 of 14 from the free throw line this afternoon. Now leading by 12. Watkins, though, a really strong afternoon with 12, make it 13 points for Columbia International, including 3 three-pointers. Lopez trying to run out the clock as whistle for the travel, and now with 0.4 of a second left in this third quarter, Columbia International with a chance for one last shot if they want it. McQueen out to Hatcher. Shot clock, game clock will expire before she gets the shot off, and that's the end of the third. 3 in the books, 1 to go. Columbia International on top by 13, leading Brenau 55-42. Can they close out the win when we come back on the CIU Sports Network? Back in Columbia, inside the Moore Fitness Center, as CIU looks to pick up their first win over Brenau since November 2018. Brenau had won the previous 4 matchups in this conference series, but it's the Rams who lead by 13 heading into the 4th. It'll be Tania Heston, Zion Neat, Jordan McQueen, Zonnie Thompson, and Madison Hatcher, the 5 Rams on the floor in their home white uniforms with the gold numerals and red trim. McQueen looking to go up and under before she's whistled for the travel. Meanwhile, opposite way for Brenau is Taylor Williams, Zion Lopez, Nyla Moore, Jill Pittman, and Catherine Fourier, the 5 on the floor. For the Tigers, led by Fourier's 19 points this afternoon, including 4 made 3-pointers. Trying to break the press, Moore will be whistled for the travel, and turnover number 27 on the evening for the Tigers. That has been their Achilles heel. You look back to the first quarter, and well, it was Columbia International who just could not seem to buy a bucket. The Rams starting out 1 for 18 from the field in the first quarter to shoot a team total of 6%. Here's Hatcher from 3, too strong. Now, in any other instance, starting out that poorly shooting the basketball, your team will be behind the 8 ball, so to speak, for the rest of the way through, and you would really have to battle back and dig in. However, the defensive physicality the Rams brought to the floor helped offset those offensive woes, enforcing many Brenau turnovers. As I mentioned, 27 now on the ball game to date, including 5 times in this ball game we've seen Brenau unable to get it across midcourt in the allotted 10 seconds before the violation occurs. Lopez just brings it up herself this time. But a big second quarter was what brought Columbia International back into it as they outscored Brenau 23-10 in the second one, to take a 6-point lead in the break and never look back. Now a 15-point game, trying to find Lopez. It's quickly poked out by Heston. 17 on the shot clock for the Tigers. Lining up in a stack from the corner. It goes to Moore on the inbounds. Williams in and around, not there. Lopez, the offensive glass, put back in one. Zion Lopez, a chance at a 3-point play for Brenau as they look to make this game even more competitive than it already is down the stretch. Madison Ferrara, make that Madison Hatcher, picking up her first personal. Team's first foul here in the 4th. Lopez leaves the free throw short, but it's Williams picking off the pass from Hatcher, and underneath as Moore looked to back down the defender, Hatcher going to be picking up her second just like that. With that, Hatcher heads to the sidelines. Kanaya Watkins jogging on the hardwood for Columbia International. Lopez to inbounds with Brenau down by 3. It's initially deflected by Thompson, then stolen by Heston. Streaking up the floor goes Zion Neat. Layup left too high off the glass, out of bounds. It'll be Brenau basketball. Tigers put in the hands of Lopez to try and break the press. Lopez's turnaround pass from Moore sails out of bounds. They had Fourier open in the deep corner, but Lopez did not see her teammate. Neat from the right side. Too strong. Ball loose on the ground. Thompson trying to track it in the corner. But it'll roll past the baseline out of bounds. Columbia International trying to come off of a tough loss on the road at Milligan late last week, 98-77, falling on the road. Meanwhile, for Brenau, they've lost 3 in a row, all on the road as well. At Bryan, at Truett McConnell, and at Montreat by 2. Fourier trying to battle back and pick up and snap that 3-game skid with an opportunity at a 3-point play. Kanaya Watkins going to be picking up her first personal and the 3rd team foul. Howard going to go ahead and check in for McQueen. Fourier, a game-high 21 points for the junior out of Lawrenceville, Georgia. Free throw, too strong, unable to complete the 3-point play. Heston trying to work around traffic, but it'll be Moore who picks up her 2nd personal. An 11-point game here inside the Moore Fitness Center with 7.5 to go. Watkins, a few power dribbles inside. And on the floor, foul whistle. Jill Pittman going to pick up her 2nd personal and 3rd team foul. Heston whistled for the travel on the step back, and there's some obvious frustration across her face as a result of that call. Lopez left open up the left side of the floor to break the press. She kicks out to Fourier from the left side. 3-pointer, too strong off the back iron. Williams, a shot that went higher than it did distance-wise, unable to fall through. And it's Williams picking up her 3rd personal off the rebound. Just the 3rd team foul for Brenau. 2 more, and it'll put the Rams at the line from here on out. Now we see the Tigers applying the full court pressure of their own, but it's neat to bring it up the floor. Heston, spin move with the left hand, laying it in is Tania Heston for Columbia International. Pittman, the Euro step, up and in. These two teams exchanging buckets back and forth. Heston trying to break the press, will draw the contact from Pittman. And now that is Jill Pittman's 4th personal foul. She has to head to the sidelines for Chris Stewart's squad. And Michaela Cope will stand in her place. Six and a half minutes left here on this Tuesday evening. Neat whistled for the travel off of the jab step. Now the 9th turnover of the ball game for Columbia International. Madison Ferrara back on the floor for Neat. That's the lone substitution across the board. Moore, kick out to Williams. Moore falls off her own feet. There was no contact. And on the other end, the Rams look to take it past the 60-point mark here today. Howard's jumper won't do it. Columbia International averaging almost 77 points per game this season as a group. Lopez kicking out to Moore for 3. Off the mark, Ferrara clears out the rebound. Pass is behind Watkins and stolen by Williams and deflected by Watkins out of play. Nice recovery from Kanaya Watkins to not allow the easy bucket, which is easy to do here this late in the game when you have a double-digit lead, but Watkins just showing the hustle there and getting back. Moore heads to the sidelines. Shania Goss steps back onto the floor. Not able to get it in under 5 seconds are the Brenau Tigers. And that is turnover number 30 on the day for the visitors. Ferrara driving baseline, rejected at the rim, forcing her to the floor, which results in a travel. Brittany Brown now on the floor for Ferrara. 5:18 left in this fourth quarter. Columbia International up 59-48. Underneath to Lopez, down low, trying to back down Thompson. Shot off the mark. In transition, here's Brown. With the right hand, Brittany Brown goes off the window. Brown now with her first bucket of the afternoon. Our score 61-48, Columbia International. Fourier from deep, off the mark. Fourier, a game-high 21 points. Meanwhile, she is 4 of 12 from beyond the arc. Brown nearly corralled the offensive board, but now it's Brenau on the other end, and Williams, layup too strong and too high. Brown deflected by Lopez. And now we see a technical foul issued on Zion Lopez of Brenau. From what I was able to hear from the referee, there was some foul language spoken underneath the basket after that rejection by Lopez. So 4:03 left in this fourth quarter. We have our first technical foul of the ball game. That'll be the fourth personal on Lopez. And it'll be Watkins to shoot the technical free throw. First one is up and good. She will get 2. Watkins will sink both. And now with 15 points today. And it'll be Rams basketball following the technical foul. Four minutes left here tonight inside the Moore Fitness Center. Columbia International slowing down their offense across the final few minutes, leading by 15 points. But Gauze not letting enough on the defensive end, had the steal before she was fouled by Watkins. That's Nia Watkins' second personal. And the 5th team foul, which puts Brenau at the stripe. With Shania Gauze, the senior from Loganville, Georgia, getting 2. Gauze first free throw up and good. A 33% shooter from the free throw line this season. Not her strong suit. Out of South Gwinnett High School. 2 for 2 on that trip. Williams deflecting the pass out of bounds. It'll stay Rams basketball. But Brenau is not done yet. Zion Neat back on the floor for Zonnie Thompson. And the Rams want to make sure this one doesn't slip away at all. Leading by 13 with 3:44 to go. Heston's pass picked off by Williams. Up and under to Gauze. And the layup will roll off the rim, and off the rebound, we see Williams commit the foul. That's team foul number 6 on Brenau, and that puts Heston at the line on the other end. Heston, a 70% shooter from the stripe this season. With 19 points today. First free throw off the back iron. Now 3 of 6 from the stripe this evening. Point number 20 in the books for Tania Heston. And she gives the Rams a 14-point lead. Nearly a bad collision. Results in another turnover. Howard asked for it from three-point land, and she delivers. Quanika Howard now with 10 points in double figures as the Rams continue to grow their lead across the final few minutes. And Brenau is going to take a timeout. We'll take it with them. 3:11 to play in this fourth quarter. 67-50. Rams on top. We'll be back to close out the final few moments with you on the CIU Sports Network. Three minutes, 11 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Columbia International up by 17 points ahead of Brenau. At this point, you just play the preserving game. You want to make sure you keep that lead intact, but Watkins will commit the foul defensively. That's her 4th personal. And it puts Michaela Cope, but before Michaela Cope will go to the line, we see a full timeout taken by Brenau. 3:06 left in the fourth. We'll be back on the CIU Sports Network. Fresh out of the Brenau timeout, 3:06 left here in the fourth quarter. Columbia International on top by 17 as Michaela Cope steps to the free throw line. Cope 1 for 2 from the stripe here today. Came in 6 of 6 on the season. First free throw up and good for the junior from Douglasville, Georgia. Second one rolls off the back iron into the hands of Quanika Howard. For the Rams, up by 16 points. How do they close out these last 3 minutes? Do you continue to push the gas, if you will, on the offensive machine as Watkins steps back for a jumper? She does just that. Increase the lead at any cost. You never want to play safe because no lead is ever safe. Poked away and stolen by Howard. Passes back to Heston. Foul whistled underneath against Gauss. That'll be Shania Goss's first personal. And puts Heston at the line. And the Rams in the bonus. Taylor Green back onto the floor for Williams. Heston first free throw up and good. A graduate transfer from Oakland University at the Division I level, coming here to Columbia International, the Hilliard, Ohio native. Second free throw left off the front iron. The lead sits at 19 points for Columbia International. You look back in the second quarter, this was an entirely different game. The Rams trailed by 10 points early on in the second period before battling back and outscoring Brenau by 13 in the second quarter to take a 6-point lead into halftime. And they've just continued to extend that lead here in the second half. 11 to shoot. Green with the steal. Coast to coast goes Taylor Green. Now a minute 46 to play here in the fourth quarter. Heston dribbling in and going off the glass. Foul whistled underneath on Quanika Howard as Polly Simpson will head to the free throw line for the first time today. We see one final substitution check in here late for Danielle Fleming's squad, and it's the senior out of Florence, South Carolina, MC Outlaw. Simpson at the stripe, the sophomore from Gillsville, Georgia, knocks through her first free throw. Looking ahead on both teams' schedules for Columbia International, they'll hit the road tomorrow up to St. Andrews in Laurinburg, North Carolina, to take on the Knights. A 5:30 tip-off in AAC play. And that begins the first of a 3-leg road trip for Columbia International before returning home on February the 3rd to host Truett McConnell in conference action. One additional substitution for the Rams. It's Maria Leinbach, the true freshman, in the floor for Quanika Howard with a minute 25 to play in the fourth. Meanwhile, for the Brenau University Tigers, with the loss, they move to 4-10 on the regular season. And they'll look to snap what will become a 4-game losing streak when they return home tomorrow and play host to Kentucky Christian down in Gainesville. 60 seconds left here in the fourth quarter, and the Rams well on their way to their 8th win of the season. Fourier driving in the paint with a runner. We'll speak with Rams head coach Danielle Fleming at the conclusion of this one. And like we mentioned at halftime, it was a first quarter you could forget. And many people probably want to forget. You could not have started out much worse offensively than the Rams did. 1 for 18 from the field as a team in the first quarter. Lee fouled underneath with a chance at a 3-point play. She comes up all smiles from the deck. And the Rams push their lead back to 19 points. You shoot 6% as a team in the first quarter, but only trail by 7. A big part of today's game, especially in that first quarter, as Lee completes the 3-point play, was Columbia International forcing 31 turnovers from Brenau throughout the ball game. The defensive presence of CIU made the difference here today. MC Outlaw comes away with the steal. Shot clock now off with the final 15 seconds running out here today. Columbia International battles back from a 10-point deficit in the second quarter to come away with a 20-point win in conference play over Brenau, with the Rams winning it 77-57. With the win, Columbia International improves to 8-10 on the regular season and 6-7 in the AAC. Meanwhile, Brenau, with the loss, falls to 4-10 on the regular season and 3-9 on their conference slate. We'll take a quick break and come back with you on the CIU Sports Network. We'll speak with Rams head coach Danielle Fleming when we come back on the CIU Sports Network. Game with tonight's star, Tania Heston. Tania, 25 tonight once again. Just can't seem to get over that 25-point hump, but you'll take a win either way.
Yeah, for sure we'll take a win. I think defense has really helped us tonight, just being able, we've talked about it all week, so just being able to get back on defense, and that's creating our offense. So
you guys forced 31 turnovers today defensively. You had those early offensive struggles as a group. How important was it for your defense to keep you in this game?
I think it was really important. Like I just said, we worked on the press all week, so just making sure we were rotating and stuff. And then, I think we kept them to, we were down, 7? We had 7 in the first and they had 10. So just after our shots started falling, we were hitting. So I'm glad we were able to give her that hump.
How can you parlay this into 2 in a row tomorrow at St. Andrews?
Say that one more time.
How can you parlay this win into 2 in a row at St. Andrews?
Yeah, I think just keeping up the defense, and then I didn't think we had a great shooting day, so tomorrow just knocking down shots and just continue to hit the open players and stuff. So I think that'll help, and then just keeping up our defense.
Tania, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's Tania Heston, tonight's hero, with 25 points as the Rams close out the 77-57 win. Now joined by head coach Danielle Fleming. Coach, you're down 10 there in that second quarter, and you battle back to a 20-point victory.
Yeah.
Talk about your team's turnaround.
I thought some girls stepped up big for us. I know we had trouble, scoring the ball early, and Kanaya came out big, Queen came out big. So those are what we need. We need those from those players every game, really. And I feel like we could kind of take that next step if we have it from them and the normal crew.
When you have slow offensive starts and get down early, a lot of times you have to depend on senior leadership. We just talked to Nia Heston, your grad transfer, 25 today for her.
Yeah.
How important was her off-the-court leadership factored in today?
It was big. It was big. She knows how to talk to people. She's not going to sugarcoat anything for anyone. She's not going to coddle them. So if you're that type of person, don't get in her way. But she did a really good job getting the team together, especially in the locker room when we couldn't get things going offensively. She's telling them like, "Hey, we're good. So it's very important.
I know you love the press, and Tania said you guys worked on it in practice this week. 5 times you forced the 10-second violation.
Yeah.
How happy was that just for you and your defensive mindset?
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good. I mean, I like that we were able to run both our presses with full court man and then drop back in our 2-2-1. And honestly, getting a 10-set call in our 2-2-1 was really good. So I was really happy about their defensive effort. Where they have 57, our goal was to hold them under 60. So that was great.
You also forced 31 turnovers along the way.
Wow. Our goal was always 25, so that's really good. And we only had 14. That's really good. I'm really excited for them.
Coach, you head up to St. Andrews tomorrow. How can you part of this in 2 in a row?
Yeah, I think we just got to keep that same energy defensively. I believe they're going to come. Shots will fall. I'm not worried about offense. We scored 5 points in the first quarter, ended up with 77. So I'm never worried about us scoring. It's always keeping the other team from scoring. So I'm excited about tomorrow. I think we're going to go up there and play good defense.
Coach, go get some rest. Enjoy the win.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That closes out for us here inside the Moore Fitness Center as the Rams battle back and come from behind on a 10-point deficit en route to a 77-57 win over Brenau in AAC play. Until next time, for all of us here on the CIU Sports Network, I am Kate Crenshaw saying good night, and as always, remember to smile.